Hi, good evening everyone, and welcome to Project Learn, a Reskill and Spark your initiative aiming at upskilling tech enthusiasts on emerging AR tech with the help of workshops and hackathons and building a highly engaged Spark AR community. Through these workshops, you will be taught how to build AR effects on Spark AR Studio and with features that enhance the experience of Facebook and Instagram users. My name is Askar Khan, and before we start the workshop, I'd run you through a small presentation to share the purpose, flow, application, and benefits of being a part of this program. As I mentioned, Project Learn aims at helping you kickstart your career in the domain of augmented reality by training you in the technology. The program structure is divided into three broad stages. In the first phase, we'll walk you through Sparkia Studio and teach you how to create your first AR effect from scratch, which involves importing assets, canvas, face tracking, patch editor, and generating test link. In the second phase, we'll move a step further, teaching you about advanced filters and share with you Spark AR policies before you finally submit your AR effect. Submission of your effect will give you a meta certification, access to resources that will help you prepare for the hackathon. In the final phase, we'll host hackathons at your college level and at pan India level. You will be rewarded and recognized for your efforts and contributions. Before we move further, I'll quickly introduce Sparkia Studio to you all. Sparkia Studio is a tool used by global community of creators and brands to create and share AR experiences using Facebook family of apps. And augmented reality is an interactive experience which digitally enhances what can be seen, heard, and touched in the real world. At the moment, we have over 600 million people using AR on Meta apps. Let's have a quick look at what's happening in the world in the field of AR. So, there are four key capabilities where AR is being used. To give you a brief insight on how AR is being used worldwide, we have all come across these face filters on Instagram where we can add a mask on our face. This is done using the face tracking capability. IKEA, the popular Swedish chain of home furnishing stores, uses AR to help their customers choose the right furniture for their home through the world tracking capability. Similarly, while QR codes are now normal to scan, we are also able to scan pamphlets and business cards using target tracking. Similarly, body and hand tracking, the latest capability introduced, offers utility for fashion and e-commerce brands, allowing users to try on an outfit digitally before they click purchase. These are a few effects I am sure some of you have tried using, like changing of hair color when you scream or a phone call from a celebrity. AR also plays an impressive role in escalating your gamifying experience by mapping effects with facial expressions, gestures, and head movements. AR has played a crucial role during the pandemic in bringing the world to your drawing room by emphasizing on the moment, making the content much more interactive, enjoyable, and memorable. Having said this, what happens to the effect I have created? Well, the effect can be published on your Instagram page in the stories section, in the reels, and guess what? Your effect is available to the audience worldwide to use and experience. A pertinent question that arises is, how does this program help me professionally? There are various ways in which you can use your AR effects to your advantage. You can monetize on the platform by building interactive AR effects for brands and creators. You can become an AR UX researcher, AR developer, and an educator. You can leverage AR in your career by identifying and solving problems. You can take the augmented reality career further into learning VR and XR. With so many advantages, both immediate and long term, I am sure you all will make the most of these workshops. We had shared a download link for Sparkia Studio with you in the email. I hope you have downloaded it. In case you haven't, please do it before we begin the session. I would now like to introduce the mentor for the session, Rushan Ahmed. Rushan Rushan is currently an expert AI creator and has achieved commendably in the field of augmented reality. He started his journey on augmented reality in the year 2020 just for the passion to bring his imagination to life via AR. Lately, he has been helping influencers, brands, and artists to engage with potential audience via AR experiences, reaching to more than 1 billion overall users. Before we invite Rushan, let's have a look what we are going to build today. Now let us invite our expert trainer for the day, Rushan. Hi, Rushan.
Yeah, hi Asghar. Thanks, Asghar, for such a nice introduction. And hi everyone. So today we will be learning to build your first AI experience on Instagram by using Spark AI Studio by Meta. I will just give a brief of AR for better understanding. Augmented reality is basically superimposing 2D or 3D assets into real world image into a screen. You all must have played or heard of Pokemon Go, I think so. It is also among the best gamified AR experience. So let's first know how to download AR Spark AR. So let me share my screen first. Yeah. So here you need to search. You'll find the Spark AR link over here, and under this you will have a download now option. You just need to go to that, and here you will find the download option. Here you will find more things such as get started and manage effects. So once you need to, before starting, you need to log into the Spark AR using your Facebook IDs, and after that you are done with this, you can just download it from here, and it will get started. So let's begin the workshop today. So today we'll be learning to make this filter. Just a second. Yeah. Yeah, so the filter is basically a person who is having a face mesh on him, and once he nod his face, the face mesh will get the audio will get activated, and just to stuff. Allow me a second.
Rushan is facing some technical issues. He'll be joining back soon. So meanwhile, if you guys have not downloaded Sparkia Studio, I'm sharing the download link in the comment section. Just download the Sparkia Studio and install it on your computers.
audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So just a second, let me share my screen. Yeah. Let's get started into this. Here we can find a scene panel. Under the scene panel, we'll have option to add a face mesh. This will basically add a face tracker to the scene panel, and under that face tracker, we will have a face mesh that will detect our face and give it a 2D mesh. And under this face mesh, we just need to add a material. So as you can see, now the face is much more sculpted. So let's first rename it to sticker, as we'll be adding sticker to this. Material name also goes here, sticker. So let's change the shader type of material to flat, as if we go flat, it will just give us a blank look without adding any 3D environment in the Spark here. You can see there's already two 3D environment added, ambient light and directional light. So if we keep the shader type to standard, those light will work on the face mesh that has been added. And if we just keep it flat, it won't work and it will just give the direct image of it. So let's add our texture to it. That is, now as you can see, we have a face sticker on our face with a tricolor flag. So let's go ahead, and we need to give our face a bit of retouching. For that, we will add again a face mesh to our face, and under that we will add a material. We'll rename this to retouching. So material also goes as retouching. For retouching, you don't need to worry much. Spark AR has provided us with a shader type that is specific for retouching. So we just need to turn it on. And now you can see there's somewhat smoothing on our face, and we can add just the amount of smooth that we want on our face. So let's keep it 60. So we are done till now. So now we need to add few things to it. Like we need to add, first of all, we need to add audio. For that, first of all, we'll go and add a speaker to the scene panel. Now for the speaker, we need some input, and for that we have an option to add a playback controller for audio. In that playback controller, you just need to import your audio from the computer. I think it's the one. Yeah, here goes the audio, and we need the audio to be played on loop, and we also want to play it. So currently you won't be hearing the audio because we haven't selected the controller from the speaker. So here you find the audio playback controller, and I think now you could hear the audio. So let's dim the volume to somewhat. Yeah. So we want the audio to be played as we want, like with some interaction. So for that, we need to open our patch editor. For that, we just need to go to view, show patch editor. Under that, we will minimize it a bit. Yeah. So we need to search for a, first of all, we just need to drag our face tracker because we want an interaction from the face. So as we drag our face tracker, you will find there is a face finder that search for the face on the scene. And under that, we need to connect it to face select. It is basically, it all comes as a default when we did directly get the face tracker dragged from the scene panel to the patch editor. Then we need to just go to, if we right click on the patch editor, there's a pop-up under which you will find a lot of patch that has been provided by Spark here. So we need to go with the interaction patch currently. We need to add a head nod because we want that if we nod our head, the audio plays. So let's add our head nod. Then we need to connect the face output to face input of head nod. Now let's pull the play patch of the controller to the patch editor, and you will find, and if you connect the node output to the play input, it will add a switch in between. And if we just want to play it in a way that it turns the audio on, we doesn't want that if it nod our head again, it like turns the audio off. So for that, we just need to connect it to turn on. Let me reduce the volume first. Okay, so till now we are done here. Now we need to add a mute button to it. So for that, let's add a canvas. Canvas is basically giving a 2D texture to the screen panel. So we will add a canvas. Under canvas, we need to add a rectangle. And the canvas and the rectangle will go into different layer. So I will give you a brief about layer in a second. Just a minute. We'll add the canvas and its children basically to layer 1. So let me give you a fundamental about layers. Basically, layer is something that in the layer panel, the one that is below will be will go below the first layer. And if in the scene panel, if any asset is in below, it will go on top. Like जो लेयर होते हैं उनके जो केक के स्लाइसिंग हमने देखे होंगे, तो केक के जो पहला स्लाइस होता है उसका दूसरा स्लाइस होता है, तो लेयर का में जो पैनल में जो ओरिएंटेशन रहता है उसका उसी हिसाब से रहता है. लेकिन सीन पैनल में इट्स जस्ट अपोजिट. If the item is below, it will go on the top, and the top one will go at the bottom. It goes in a reverse order. So we want the canvas to be on top. For that, we have done the thing, and we had added layer to it. Now we need to add a material. We'll create a new material and name it mute button. And we don't want the mute button to be on top of the screen, so we will just change the position of it. Here we have a modes to change the viewport. We have 3D mode and we have 2D mode. Like in 3D mode, we can see that the panel is moving like this, and in 2D mode, it will be just a plain 2D texture. So we will just drag it over here, and we want the mute button to be somewhat nearby this. And to keep the button at that place in every device, we just need to change the pinning. Basically, currently the pinning is to the top leftmost corner, but we want it to be at the bottom rightmost corner. So if the device changes, the mute button will remain here forever. So let's work on the mute button. We'll add a texture to it. These textures are basically in PNG format because we want the background to be blank. We don't want to have a background to it. If we want to have a background, we can just go with the JPG format, but PNG works best, I would say. So we'll change the shader type to flat. And as you can see, there's a button here. And currently the button doesn't work in any way. It is just a image added to the screen. And we want to make it work now. So for that, we'll go to the canvas rectangle. Here you'll find the interaction patch. We will call for object tab. So what is our motive here is that if we tap on the object on this mute button, the audio mutes. So for that, we just need to connect this tab to turn off switch of the playback controller, audio playback controller. And we also want that if we tap on that switch, we don't want the mute button to be visible. For that, we will just pull the visibility of the rectangle and connect it to the same output of switch. Now, if I retry, let me increase the volume first. So it's basically right. Let me try once. So right now you can see there's only the face mesh on my face, and if I nod my face, the button appears. And if we to check whether that button is working, we have an option to turn the pointer to simulate touch. And if we simulate touch, just a second, let me check what. Yeah. So if we mm, simulate touch, let's give it a retry. Yeah. Yeah, so it's available here. And if you click over here, the audio mutes, and that's working perfectly. So it's working perfectly now. So here you have option to give more face trackers here. Like Spark here provides a 5 maximum face tracker. Like you can track maximum of 5 faces at once, and you can give asks to them, like add stickers on the face of at least 5 people at a time. That's the highest limit provided as of now. So for that, we just don't need to do anything. We just need to go here, click on duplicate, and it's add a face tracker. But as you can see, the first face tracker, that is face tracker 0, is tracking face 1. But for the second face tracker, we don't want it to track the face 1. So we will track it to face 2. So if at the current scenario, 2% comes in the screen, the filter will track 2 faces and give the head node access to only the first one. I will tell you why. Because here the indexing is 0. And if we connect it to count, just a second. Yeah. So, and if we need to activate the audio on the face of other person also, we need to add the face tracker over here for the other person. Grab it down here. We'll need to go to asset library. Here's a asset library that is provided by Spark here, where you can get asset that has been put in by developers and Spark here team also, like pre-designed assets. Or we can just go to, since we have only 2 output of pulse, we will just go for pulse merge, and here we'll go for a face node. We'll add a face node again, basically head node. Sorry for the, and we'll pull the pulse merge over here and add the first output and the second output. Basically pulse merge does the thing is that it works as the OR system. Like अगर एक से आउटपुट आ रहा है तो उसका जाएगा, अगर सेकंड इनपुट दे रहा है तो उसका जाएगा. तो just to for better understanding of yours, let me tell you what. So if the first phase node is activated, the pulse will get a signal and it will activate the turn on switch. Okay. Or if in case the first head node is not activated, only the second one is activated, it will also give the pulse Basically, it is merging two pulses into one and giving the output as we require. So just now we are done with the patch editor thing. Hmm, just let me reduce the volume first. And now we need to work on the depth, because currently on the laptop it's not being showing, but on phone, if we use and we get closer to the screen, the face mesh will interfere in the mute button, and it will merge, like it will dilute. So for that we just need to go to sticker, material panel, and under that you will find advanced render option. This basically does one thing, is that you will have options, three options, like color encoding, use depth text, or write to depth. Write to depth is basically the 2D image that you're inserting. It will seek a depth sensor that is installed in the cameras, and it will look for the depth, and it will get to that depth. I know you are not understanding this, because the thing is that depth is like this is the texture, this is my hand, and if I'm applying some material on my hand, you can find there's a depth. The depth of this is greater than the depth of this, and if we turn on the right to depth sensor, the image will get attached to the plane, like as in the texture of my hand. And if I turn it off, it will just get in a plain format, it will be just blank. So here we need to turn off the use depth test, so that if this two collides, they don't dilute or dissolve each other. So let's test our effect. Mm. You can find the face is working perfectly. It is giving me a face mesh on my face with a tricolor, and there's a mute button. And if we just go and mute it, it will mute the audio. So now for to test it on our phones. So you'll find here arrowed phone logo. If you click on that, you'll have option like test on device, and here it says that no experiences type is selected. For that, we just need to go, we can either directly click from here and go to add experience, or we can just go to the project folder under this edit properties, and you'll find that experience experiences are basically, it is saying that you need to input the portfolio where you want the filters to be. So for that, sharing experiences, we have sharing experiences, video calling experiences, and ads. Video calling, just a second, let me mute it first. So video calling experience is for beta users, and it won't work because we are using a screen tap capability. We'll tell you about that in the next session about the policies. So we need to add the experience, sharing experience to it. So here you have option for Instagram, camera, and existing media, and Facebook. So the current effect will work for camera and Facebook only, because if we click on the camera and the existing media, just a second, it will give an error code. Yeah, you can find that you're using a capability that can't be used for the camera and existing media. The thing is that camera and existing media is basically, it will allow the user to apply a filter on a pre-captured video or a photo, and for that you won't be able to have any screen tap access or anything like that. So we can publish the effect on Instagram camera and Facebook camera. So now we will just test our effect. So once you are logged into your Facebook ID, you will get the Instagram and Facebook thing over here. You just need to send it to Instagram or Facebook, wherever you want, and it will generate a link to it. If you have any questions or query, you can drop them on the comment box. So yeah, for the notification, I've got a notification on Facebook and Instagram, and we even have a test link that is limited to 50 user. Like one test link, if 50 user uses that for trying your filter, they won't be able to publish the photo or video captured using the test link because it is not reviewed. The filter has not been reviewed. They can publish it definitely by saving the video or photo, but they can't publish it directly that we generally do, that we click a photo and we publish it directly. They will get an error there. So we have got the test links. Now let's go and learn how to publish it. We have tested the filter, it's working perfect. We just need to increase the volume over here because I reduced it during the class. So let's go and go click for the publish button. Yeah, so here you will get option to publish a new effect, update an existing effect. You can directly add a demo video over here, or you can directly record from here. I can say that, yeah, from this, but we have a video already recorded for this, so we won't go for this. Excuse me. And here we have to publish our new effect. Under the update existing effect, you'll find my owner ID, and there will be the effects that are lying under my IDs. So we just need to go with the publish new effect. The file size meets requirement, capabilities meets requirement. Perfect. Let's go and upload it. Now it will open our browser, and that with the Spark AI Hub, and we need to give the name to the filter and add more stuff to it that will be visible to the public on the platform. Yeah, so as you can see, we have the Spark AI Studio has directed us to Spark AI Hub directly and to publish our effect. We just need to name the effect. So since our effect is for the Independence Day, we'll name it Independence Day. Yeah, so now you will get an option for platforms over here. And if the effect was available for all platforms, like for sharing and video call, we could have the all platform option highlighted. But since it's the effect's capabilities doesn't meet the criteria of video calling, so we just have the option that whether we want the filter to be live only for Instagram or only for Facebook or for both the platforms. If you look here, these are unhighlighted due to the capabilities and supported capabilities you can find, the instruction and audio triggered thing. So we can find that there's the owner ID according to which I have logged in and the platform I want the filter to be published. So you will find here the categories panel. It will basically segregate your effect among millions of effects on Instagram and it will add it to a different panel. So since our effect is for a cause, no, I don't, for an event, basically for Independence Day. So we can select it for, sorry, this the event thing. Yeah, event. People can click selfies, so we will definitely add selfies to it. Since we are adding a retouch, so we can add appearance to it. Yeah, that's all we can add to this, I think so. Yeah, perfect. So here you'll find keywords. Keywords is basically hashtags that will help in more deeper segregation of your effects. Like the keywords is if a person is visiting more about beauty products and all that. And if the filter is about beauty products, and if we type beauty over here, the person will get a recommendation in the story panel to use the effect. Recommendation says that they will see the filter option, that they can use the filter for their stories, reels, and videos, etc. So it is for Independence Day. The effect is for India. We'll add India to it. So these trigger if someone is visiting some post or videos or reels about that has containing something related to India or Independence Day, the effect will blink in the story panel. Like once when they will try to click a photo or video and they will go to the story option, they will get the effect over here in these suggestions basically. So for the demo video, we have a video over here. Yeah, as the demo video appears here, you can either use a thumbnail directly from the demo video and crop it accordingly, or you can upload a different image for that. So we have that also with us. Since this Independence Day is our 75th Independence Day, and we are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we will use this logo as for the filter. And you can find we'll have the option to crop the icon and all. The icon is perfect, so we don't need to crop it. We can, or for just a little bit. It will give us more zoom effect to it. Yeah. So you all can see there's a panel over here. This will give you a preview how it will look on the Facebook application. Since we have chosen Facebook as our experience that the filter will go live on, we have further two options. For Facebook, we have only one option, that is camera. Like we don't have any effect tab, dedicated effect tab for filters on Facebook. But for if we select Instagram, we have three options, that is profile, preview, and camera. Profile is the one that will appear on your effect tab and it will look like this. Secondly is the preview. And if we click on this, the next thing will come is a preview with the whole video and the audio thing. And in the preview, you have option to try it, save the filter, or share it with your friends only in the DMs, like direct messages. You can't share it in the stories as of now. And in the camera, it's basically the thing I was telling you, that if you use tags, keywords or tags, it will recommend over here the filters. So yeah, perfect. Is there anything else? Do we want to add a location to it? Yes, let's see. Let's add India to it. It's not giving a exact Indian location, so we'll leave this part because this effect is this thing is basically for specific location in India, like for a restaurant, for a monument, that if a person is in that area, they will get the suggestion in the same camera panel over here. And in the upcoming updates, Instagram will be adding AR filters to the maps. Like if a person is somewhere and they will be able to see AR filters for that specific place. And you'll find an option for collaborators over here. So this is basically like if two developers are working on the same filter and they want the effect to be shown on the other person's portfolio. I will tell you about the portfolio later on. So for that, they need to add a collaborator. They need to just put in their username. And as of now, we don't need that. So yeah, we are ready to publish a submit our effect. Independence Day, everything works. So let's submit it. Yeah, so now you can see the effect is in the you got a notification that your effect is in now in review, and it will take some days, like up to maximum to 5 days. Sometimes it definitely takes more than that, and in the weekends you are not sure when your effect will get reviewed and will get published. Once your effect is reviewed, you will get an insight over it about the impression, open, share. Impression is basically how many people have seen your effect, as in other person's stories, reels, post, or whatsoever. Open is basically how many person has opened and tried your effect. Share is definitely the how many times your effect has been shared. So talking about the portfolio, I was talking that time. So here's the portfolio thing. Spark AR has given us a benefit that we don't need to create our own website or a slideshow for our portfolio. It just directs the thing that we have created and the awards that we have won. Like here, you can see that I have received 3 awards as of now. 2 years with Spark AR, minimum 25 effects I've published, 100 million Friendster, and these are the effects that I have made. It just gives a brief and portfolio about it. And if we use the collaborator thing, so the person who is having the effect on their profile will be able to share that effect if I've created it to my portfolio. That is a basic idea about it. And let's learn more about the effects. So here you'll find the effect that we have just published. So under that, you will get option like sooner we'll be conducting hackathons. In that we will be going to work on. You need to submit the effect ID. Basically, effect ID is specific IDs that is allotted to the effect. Owner ID is the ID that you are getting once you are signing up with your Facebook. And the test link, you can just get it from here. Text on the test on the device, you can just click over here, you will get the test link. And if you copy the text link, it will direct you to Facebook web page, Instagram web page. And if you open it in your phone browser, you will get an option to try the effect over here. And you just need to click on that and it will get directed to the page. And same thing goes for the Facebook. If we just copy it and paste it over here. So it's like you can, if you open in the phone, you will get the option to try the effect. Yeah. So review is the panel where you will find any updates. Like sometimes you get rejection from the Spark AR team due to some policies that we'll be talking about tomorrow in our next session. And here's the visibility panel that tells that is your effect visible on your filter on your profile or not. Let me give you this information on something that is already visible on my profile. Mm, yeah. So this will give you a much better idea. Here you can select one. You have an option for impression that how many people have seen your effect in last 28 days. And if you click on view more, you'll be directed to a better stats page that will give you option to choose lifetime, last 7 days, whatever. So like lifetime, 35,000 people have opened my effect and tried it. Captures like they have clicked a photo with my effect. Save is definitely they have saved it on their effect gallery. Share is that they have shared it. Impression is what I've already told you, that 58,000 people have totally seen my effect in stories, reels. So we have learned about the insights, visibility. Yeah, since this effect has been approved, this visible icon will be here, status under status panel. And if we turn it off, the effect won't be visible on my profile anymore because I have turned it off. And earlier, you remember I was talking about existing media like the camera one. Since this effect is has capabilities that allow the user to apply a filter on a pre-captured photos or videos, this capability is on. And if I will turn it off, people won't get that access to it. Yeah. And you can also schedule the effect like you are working for a brand and they want to launch an effect for a particular day or date and time. You can schedule it from here. You can turn it off and you can just schedule it. For the details, you'll find the publisher who has published the effect, under which category it falls, keywords, demo video, and files. You will definitely have the files that has been uploaded till now. This is the time and date when the effect was submitted, and current this is the review status. Yeah. So that's all for today. Thank you for having me. I think Asghar, you can take it now.
Thank you, Rushan, for a wonderful session. I hope everyone has learned how to create their first AR effect today. So keep practicing and try and create your own AR effects. And tomorrow, Rushan will be teaching you how to add some more elements to this AR effect. So till then, stay tuned and try to make your own AR effects and submit it in the Google form that has been shared in the comment section. We'll be happy to share your AR effects from our social handles as well. Thank you and have a good day.